This book is not just 18 plus, it is more like 36 plus, and should be combined with a specific type of odd, insane, and perverted to be understood, or at least not to be abandoned right away in the beginning of one's reading journey as a vain or shallow, or maybe simply too much and too unrelatable. There is dryness in Kundera's writing that is so typical of Czech speech and way of expressing oneself in that language. And yet, matters which he talks about maybe could not have been written about in a more poetic language after all. There are no niceties when it comes to describing a totalitarian regime, its effect on a country, and people in their collective and personal lives. Maybe horror and subjugation should not be written about in a softer way. Maybe the key is to make a firm point and move on. And yet he manages to write about one's intimate life in much detailed way as a way of unraveling the societal issues, uncovering ideas and identifying with the heroes as to bring his own experience to bear witness to the truthfulness of the statements he makes. How is it even possible to imagine the parallels between the despicable and divine and stay relevant to the topic and make sense? But he does that. This book is something to be read when you have had experience in life, when you have seen some parts of you turn into something else, something almost foreign to you, when you have come to grips with immortality and human imperfection, or utter helplessness and the futility of it all, when you have come from being naive to cynical to kind of wise, then you may be ready for him. And even then there is no guarantee that it will not seem immensely repulsive to read about certain things, written the way and in the light that they are written in this book. Czech reality has taught me that the answer to "how are you doing" may well be shitty. Until one gets to the point of pointing that out to one's interlocutor, there is no need to dive into this book at all, because the whole manner in which it is written is soaked in this kind of talk and thought exercises. There are weird books and movies I fall in love with. This one isn't one of them. I love every sentence of it, some of them reading multiple times and writing them out, but there is something too real in this fictional world that he has created that pushes me to the limit of my weirdness and makes me want to separate my peculiar thoughts from whatever he described. There are many levels of beauty, many hues of sadness, and a handful of people who are capable of combining the two with such eloquence that makes one beg for more. Here I just wanted it to be over. I wanted my normality back and leave Thomas and Teresa and Sabina and Franz and especially Karenin where they belonged, on the pages of a book that will keep the secret of their lives as long as one doesn't open it and start putting those letters into words and those words into coherent but yet strange and pungent ideas. I absolutely recommend this book, but only if you are ready for it.